you're really being focused on what you're learning. I know it's going to be the hardest thing. It's really hard to disconnect, but you really need to make sure that you're focusing on all the information that you're learning and make sure that you're retaining it. Hey guys, Dr. Vuckovich here with Victory Chiropractic, and today I want to talk to you about e-learning, all right? So I know it's not ideal that students are going back and having to be doing the education from home, but I want to give you some tips to make sure you're setting yourself up to be as successful as possible, okay? And the first one is going to be to make sure you set up a designated spot in your home for learning, okay? The way that the mind works is that certain areas in your home that are for excitement or pleasure are wired to the brain for that. So by having a certain area in your home devoted to learning, that's going to put your mind in the right space to really be able to contain information and do everything they need to do. When I was in school, I could not study in my apartment. Couldn't do it. So what ended up happening is I would have to leave, find a certain spot in the library where I knew that when I was going to that area, that I was there to learn, I was there to accomplish my goals and really be focused. All right, so you want to make sure you have the right area in your home that's going to be set up, and that is not in your bed, that is not on your living room couch. All right, you want a spot that you're not doing anything else. So find an area in the home that you're not usually associating anything with, and make sure that is now your learning area. Tip number 2 is going to be make sure that you have a set routine. All right, just because you are stuck at home all day for your learning doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a routine. You need to make sure you are waking up at the same time every day, that you do your same morning routine, all right? That's really setting the tone for the day. So make sure you're waking up, shower, brush your teeth, have breakfast, and make sure you're doing all those things before you start your learning for the day, okay? I know that schools are having a more set regimen this year in terms of each class. You have to be there for a certain period, and then there's a break, and you have that set throughout the whole day. But make sure you're not just rolling out of bed and then just going to start your classes, all right? So make sure you're going to bed on time, and make sure that you're getting up at the same time every day to make sure you're really putting yourself in the right mindset to be as successful as possible. So that means also going to bed on time, all right? Just because you don't have to be up in the morning, you have to be out the door earlier, doesn't mean you need to stay up later, okay? So make sure that you're going to bed, waking up early, and then you're doing the same thing every day to really give yourself that structure, all right? People, we crave structure, all right? You look at babies that going through their development stages, make sure that they're napping at the right time. That actually helps with development and sleep and brain cognition, all right? So make sure that you're staying with that set routine and really setting yourself up to succeed. Number 3, you need to make sure you are staying active, okay? That is really counterproductive when you're sitting at home all day learning, all right? So we're not designed to sit all day. So make sure you're not sitting for more than an hour. So if you're sitting there for your period of 50 minutes, you have a 10-minute break between your next class, make sure that you're doing something. Make sure you're going through a little bit of stretching, something that's gonna get the blood flowing, go for a little 10-minute walk. Make sure that you are not just sitting in the same position all day. All right, that's gonna put a lot of stress on your neck, lower back, and make sure you have those proper ergonomics to make sure you're not putting all that extra strain. All right, your body's gonna adapt to those positions that you're in for extended periods of time. And we do not want to adapt into that bad position with the forward posture, rounding of the back, and the flexion of the neck, okay? All right, number 4, you want to make sure that you are taking advantage of all the online resources that you have available to yourself. These are strange times. We're not used to this. It is going to be a learning curve to make sure what's going to work the best, all right? So make sure you're not feeling like you're being left behind. Make sure that you're reaching out to your teachers, asking parents for help, and making sure that you're getting the resources that you need to make sure you're staying up current with the information, all right? This information is going to keep coming, so you want to make sure you're not falling behind. So make sure you're talking to your teachers, looking for online resources. I know a lot of the learning centers in the area are still open, even remotely, so you can get some private one-on-one tutoring to make sure that you're learning the information, because this is not going anywhere. So we need to make sure that this isn't something that's going to bite us in the butt later when you're looking at other classes. It all builds on itself, so make sure that you're staying up to date with everything and using all the resources available to you. Number 5, and probably one of the most important ones, is remove distractions. All right, we are a cell phone culture, so you need to make sure that your cell phone is put away. Make sure you're not texting, you're not on all the social media avenues, and make sure that you're focusing to your education at the time. You can't be on your phone all day when you're at school, so make sure you ditch in the phones and you're really being focused on what's going on. All right, so you're not calling your friends in between, you're not texting, you're not doing any type of streaming. You're really being focused on what you're learning. I know it's gonna be the hardest thing. It's really hard to disconnect, but you really need to make sure that you're focusing on all the information that you're learning and make sure that you're retaining it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed those 5 tips and you found them useful. All right, this is not the world we want to be living in, but we are stuck with e-learning, so we want to make sure that we're doing the proper things to give us the most room for success, and that we're learning the most, giving our kids the best opportunities to make sure they're successful. And make sure you continue to stay tuned, send out more content, other helpful tips, and videos to come.